Hello friends, I'm going to talk about plastics this time, and please subscribe, like, comment, share, all those kind of things, so others might need to know about this stuff. As usual, I'm not going to go into all the details of the video. It's a worthwhile video to look at. The reason I think it's worth looking at, I just, who knows what everyone in the world is being fed these days, where they're getting fed it. I just know that what I got fed over the last, 40, 50 years. And as I've told you before, I don't listen to some of the people who now are available to continue to feed me stuff that I don't think is healthy to know about or to think about. Well, lies, etc. So I may be missing out. Maybe there's been a shift and I don't know it. But the things that I know I have been taught and pushed by the media, etc., all kind of organizations, is that we've got a problem with plastics and we need to recycle. That's what we've got to do. We've got to do recycling. Well, look at the video down below. It doesn't say we shouldn't recycle, but I think you'll be educated by looking at it. We know that there's plastics, microplastics particles in our food, and a lot of people now don't drink out of plastic bottles, right? They use metal bottles or they use glass bottles, etc. They do not drink out of anything that's plastic because the plastics break down over time. Your milk, those plastic milk cartons, those are going to break down. Your Cokes, if you are keeping Cokes for 6 months, that's not good. If you're keeping them in the back of your car, that's not good because that plastic will break down. So, and so you're ingesting plastics that way, but we're also breathing it in, etc. So, what do we know about plastics? Well, one of the things that this film talks about is the myth that there's this huge area in the middle of the Pacific that is full of plastic. Well, it's not. Well, there is a place in Pacific that has plastic in it, but it's not to the degree that you might assume it is by the pictures you see, etc. I'll let you watch the video and see more about all of that. But what's interesting is that what we assume as you listen to people talk about it is that all that plastic is from it's in rivers and streams, or it's from vacationers on the coast. It's from fishermen, your sports fishermen, because all we get taught is stuff that is directed toward us as individuals, and 99% of us are just people who are doing something sort of nonchalantly, not doing a big thing. So, but it comes to be true that no, it's not what we thought. It's not me and you littering. It's primarily, for the most part, it's mostly from the fishing industry. So these fishing trawlers out there in the ocean, they're just throwing junk across, and that could be equipment, that could be all kind of stuff, right? Anyway. So it's not what we assume it is based on what we've been propagandized about, right? So and most of us don't know that plastics, actually, this whole idea about recycling, that was pushed by the plastics industry, or maybe the petroleum too. But of course, plastics are made from petroleum, so that was pushed by them. And why would you do that? And because you want people to focus on, you want me or they want you or me to focus on something other, on something that we can do. And by doing that, we're busy not using plastic bags making sure we take our cloth bags to the store, and even using paper bag instead of plastic. We don't want to use plastic. That's terrible. Well, so I'm not saying it's not good not to use plastic. I'm just trying to say that the point is to get you and I to focus on these little things that we can do. Not, hey, let's not use plastic straws. Let's use these paper straws that dissolve in our drinks. But let's get you and I to focus on doing these little bitty, teeny things that have very little effect on the greater problem. It has some effect. It's worth doing many of the things. If you're doing those things, I'm not telling you not to. But the point I'm making is that you're focused on what you can do and what you can tell your mother to do and your neighbor to do and the people at school to do and the people in your office to do and etc. It's a look here, don't look there solution. Okay, get us busy. Look at this and don't look at that. So, recycling in and of itself is not the answer. It is a very small thing that we can do. It may be worthwhile, but it's a small thing, and we need to know what the truth is. That's all I care about. I just care about what the truth is. Yes, I'll recycle. I'll continue to recycle, but I want to know what the truth is. I don't want to have the wool pull over my eyes. So, now some have claimed that you can't shut down the petroleum industry. You know, for a while there, we were just talking about all electric cars, electric everything, no petroleum product of any type. And some people in the rebuttal to that would say, "Hey, we can't get rid of the petroleum industry really because plastics are a byproduct of that. That is, yes, we may be using petroleum initially for fuel, but the plastics are also part, you know, when they started having waste from the fuel, creation of fuel, they came up with, let's see, how can we use this? What can we put it in? So they put it in our medicine, they put it in our food, they put it in all kinds of stuff. And some of it turns into plastic plastic products. So some people have claimed, hey, we can't get rid of petroleum because we depend on all these plastic products. The sewer lines out in front of your house, those are or the water lines are plastic products. There's just look around your house. Look at the many things that once might have been made of metal, and 50, 60, 70 years ago, and now they're all plastic, right? Your cars are all plastic instead of heavy metal, right? So people said, we're going to continue with this. Don't think we're getting rid of the petroleum industry because of that. Well, that may be true to a large degree, but maybe we need to reduce the use of plastics. Now, I came across this graphic, and it's about the equivalent number of grocery bags per capita annually that are being used. In the USA, the average worldwide is 43, and in USA, which is over here on this end, that's 150 bags per capita. That's how much plastic we're using. Okay. Now, you might not use any plastic. That goes to show you may not even be using plastic bags, but that's the equivalent of what a per capita person is using. And so there's probably some things, the car you drive, or the pen you're writing with, whatever it might be, you're using plastic, right? Your spectacles may be made of plastic. Who knows? All kind of things like that. So at one of the video below, one of the things it talks a good bit about, is about microplastics and how actually that is a huge issue. And that, of course, is what you have these bottles breaking down and stuff like that, these microplastics. And that it's in all kind of things. And they looked into what it might be in, and they found that there's a lot of the microplastics in our environment come from our tires. Our tires are breaking down. They have plastics in them. Paint. The primary thing is paint, and that just sort of was a surprise to me. I just had my house painted. It's plastic coated now, I guess, right? There's plastic in the plastic microfibers in the paint, and that's probably true if I remember correctly. Cement, concrete will have microfibers in it, which I assume is plastic to help bind it. So they used to put wire in it or whatnot. You might tear up an old patio, a very old thing, and you'll find what looks like pig wire, but a square, little squares of wire, and that would hold your concrete in form in place, you know. So what was the answer to that? And their primary answer is, well, recycling needs to be done, and we need to reduce consumption. And that's something that maybe our society needs to look more closely at, is how to reduce that consumption. Maybe there's things like something that's made of plastic that could be made of paper. We have to remember, as much as you might love trees and not want to destroy any trees anywhere, trees are recyclable. I mean, we can grow more trees, and make products out of trees. So anyway, who knows? I don't have the answer to that. I'm just trying to share with you today that what you were taught, what I was taught, what was pushed in my face for 20, 30, 40 years is that, hey, we've got to recycle. It's my fault that the environment's going to pot. It's because I'm drinking out of plastic cups and plastic bottles. It's not anybody else's fault, and I need to stop doing it. Well, it's more complicated than that. And there are things that need to be done. But you need to at least know that in reality, yes, your recycling is meaningful, but it's not what you thought it was. That's all I'm saying. So, one more strike for truth. And I'm just going to keep looking for whatever's true. And if what I'm saying is not true, feel free to respond to it down below and express your own opinion. Because people need to know what's true. And we all have opinions. We can all share opinions. There's not a lot. We have to remember, though, opinions are opinions. And unless you've got really solid facts, which often we are told things are fact when they are not fact. They're just ideas. They're theories. They're not fact. And they get pushed to us as fact. And you know, you're watching some newscaster or some documentary, and they tell you things that they tell you that XYZ as if it's a fact, but it's not a fact. But you're so ingrained in it, and I'm so ingrained in it, that we go, oh yeah, that's a good report, that person, because yeah, I've heard that before. Well, what you heard before wasn't true. And that's what I'm after. I'm after the truth everywhere, all the time. So, I hope you got something out of this. Please like, subscribe, comment, and take a look at the video that I'm showing below. Have a good day.